Jack is, man, he's one of my favorites, man. We love you, man. But one thing that he said something about little rooms, and we started in a little. Little rooms. Great thing to start in little rooms.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
Long live Uncle Moni.
Good morning. This is Morning Sky. I'm your host, Sky. Well. My favorite, and I think the greatest hip-hop duo of all time, Outkast, is getting their flowers, as most people say, in the urban / black / whatever, idea of receiving honors. I never liked that way of speaking. It connotes something that goes against what they even the believers. Maybe it's mainly about believers. I'm a non-believer, and it mainly goes with what they say. Allow people to smell their flowers while they're living. Well, when they die, they go to heaven, right? So there won't be flowers in heaven to smell. I mean, again, logic fails, or no, logic doesn't fail, but their logic fails, their belief system. So forever, exactly. Outkast, much deserved, overdue. I think I put in the story long overdue, but at least overdue. They came out in '94, and they were eligible in 2019, I think it was. Or wait a minute, is that right? I think that's right. I think, yeah. 94. 25, 20. Yeah, that's right. 2019. So it's overdue. It's well deserved. Outkast has brought out the inspiration and artists throughout the decades. Many of them, including Childish Gambino, who inducted him. Tyler the Creator, Doja Cat, Janelle Monáe, they all performed. Doja Cat seemed like she was a little, she might have been blazing behind stage. She's putting the microphone out to the audience. She's only what, like 26, 27, 30, something like that. She's young. She don't need to be putting out the microphone to the audience. Tyler the Creator brought it. He did B.O.B. He did Bombs Over Baghdad. He brought a lot of energy. He was strong. But the best performance of the night was Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe killed it. She brought down the house. She did Hey Ya, and she was on point. She was rocking the mic. She was going up with the stand. It was awesome. It was a great display. And like you saw in the clip, Andre 3000 got a little choked up just thinking about how those small starts can become huge ways of showing it. Yeah, I think Rosa Parks is my favorite, one of my favorites. It's probably like number 2. Number 1, I think, is Bombs Over Baghdad, B.O.B. But Rosa Parks, I think that was the first Outkast song I ever heard. I really think that was the first Outkast song I ever listened to, ever. I didn't have it was at the skating rink in Wilmington, Delaware. And the DJ put it on. I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't say that, but what is this? What is this? They got a harmonica going on, they got the beat going. What is this going on? People going around skating. And I was like, what is this? And then I figured it out a little bit later. I was with one of my classmates. We had the OK Corral rap group. We didn't even really rap. We just had like a group that we called ourselves the OK Corral. And we listened to Outkast. We were listening to Stankonia at the time. That was going back to late 90s, early 2000s. Stankonia came out, you know, they had the mega hits, B.O.B., of course, So Fresh and So Clean, Sorry Miss Jackson. These like heavy, you know, bangers that came out. You know, that was pretty awesome. Worst Outkast album. I think their last one. Probably their last one. Was it Morris Brown? And technically that wasn't really an album or something like that. I can only say the best. I can only say their best. Their best was obviously Love Below and Speaker Box. That's their best. I mean, it's their best selling. It's their most accolades. The first and only hip hop album to win Album of the Year at the Grammys. Still to this day, and that was over 20 years ago. So that's pretty interesting. But I salute to you, Bumbos. Thank you for being my road dog right now. I appreciate it. Stankonia or Aquemini is the best. I can't, to be honest, I didn't really listen to all of Aquemini. I still haven't really listened to Aquemini, but I know most of Stankonia. I think I've heard most of Stankonia. But I think I still think that Love Below and Speaker Box are better. Just the conceptual level, the operatic, overarching themes of, you know, love and passion and finding new love and losing love and being fresh and cool and clean and, you know, having confidence about yourself. I mean, that's what all these themes are embedded in all their music, but especially those discs. And I think they went diamond. I think each one had 5 million sold or more, and that brought it on to a diamond. Album was too long. Well, it's a double album. What do you expect? It's a double album. It's going to be long. Speaker Box. And the Love Below. Yeah, so I looked at the induction. The induction ceremonies are pretty elaborate. They can be grueling. Like I fell asleep on it when I first watched it, but I picked it up where it left off. But I was like, this is too much. This is just too much. I can't deal with this. Yeah, I don't know if he's doing double album flute albums, but he's doing flute albums now. I just like to see them both together. It's like amazing to see them in the same room together because Big Boy performed, but Andre didn't perform at all. Andre didn't perform one song. Big Boy played. He performed "I Love the Way You Move" with Sleepy Brown, which was amazing because Sleepy Brown is a part of the Dungeon family and has been for over 2 decades, maybe 3 decades. But it's well deserved. And the question is that I pose is competition or inspiration more powerful? What is it about hip hop that is it the competitive nature or the inspirational nature? Because you hear so much of that in Outkast. You hear Funkadelic, you hear Earth, Wind and Fire, you hear James Brown, you hear Run DMC, you hear the Jungle Brothers, Native Tongues, you hear the Far Side, Earth, Wind, A Tribe Called Quest, among others. Did Farnsworth come out with the umbrella? No, he did not. You gave Star the basketball player's story. What are you talking about, Wizard? Salute to you, Wizard. Thanks for coming in. I don't know what you're talking about, though. You gave Star the basketball player story. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Watch. I don't know what you're talking about, though. First, you gave Star the basketball player story. I'm not sure what story that is. Gave Star the basketball player story. I don't know what you're talking about. You just say things, Wizard. You just say Blatant statements. Yes. Oh, you gave Star the basketball player story. Is that a question? Is that? I don't even know what you're talking about, sir. What do you have to explain yourself a little further? But anyway, the HOF, the R&R HOF. I've been there, by the way. I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's pretty awesome. It's like everything. It's like the whole experience is exhaustive and exhausting because but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. They have inside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It looks beautiful on the outside. Sebastian Telfair. Oh, no, I didn't give. Is that if that was a question? No, I didn't give him the Sebastian Telfair one. That's something I might do now. I'm thinking because he rejected like 2 of my stories already, and I had to respect that. I had to respect it. So I'm just doing something that is will catch his eye. I catch on very slow. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Now I know what you're talking about. Sebastian Telfair is broke, bummy, and lonely right now, I guess. Allegedly. And it's my birthday today. It's I'm 250 years old. It's the United States Marine Corps birthday. Been around for 250 years. Going to be around for 250, 500, 1,000 more. The greatest fighting force the world has ever seen, United States Marines. So yeah, I remember that. So he played it already. Okay, so I didn't even realize that. So that's a good thing too, because he would have said, "Oh, I already did it." Because I gave him the video before he did his video. Then he said, "I already did this video, so you got to do something different." So that's what I'm doing right now. He played the video I sent you. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize it. So now I definitely can't do him because he already played it. You gotta give me something different, Wizard. You gotta give me something different. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if I had covered the Sebastian Telfair story because he did. I don't think he's gonna do Outkast. I doubt that highly. I don't think he's gonna do it. So I'm gonna just send this to him. Thank you for the birthday wish, sir. You have within your proximity the World War II Mount Sarabachi raising on the flag where it says what does it say? Oh God, valor was an uncommon virtue. Happy Sky Day. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm 250 years old. I don't look like I'm 250 though, do I? I don't think so. But yeah, so what's up, Brooklyn? Good morning to you, sir. Well, good afternoon now. Good afternoon to you, sir. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to continuing on with my journey, despite whatever happens. Sky 300. Why am I 300? I'm 250, not 300. 300. If I get there, I'll be. Let me see. Hold on. Let me do the math right. Hold on. Oh my God, I had it too. Jesus, I'm not good at math. 70. Let's see. Okay, so 75. Oh my God, I have to do the math. I have to cheat. I can't deal. I'll be 87. I'll be 87 years old. Sky fought in World War I and II. Yeah. My spirit went through those Medal of Honor recipients. But yeah, I'll be 80. If I make it to 87, I'm doing all kinds of stuff on my birthday. I don't care. I'm doing everything. Hopefully they'll be legalized by then. All drugs, every single drug available. I'm doing it all. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. We had to focus on this idea of inspiration versus competition. Hip hop has always been competitive. I'm better than you. I have better sneakers than you. I get more girls than you. I got a bigger house than you. I have a better card collection than you. I have a better watch selection than you. I'm just better. I'm just greater. I'm the best. They hardly say I'm the best, but they say I'm better at least. And Outkast was like an alternative. They're literally alternative. They're alternative rap because they weren't really boasting about their condition. They're boasting at the time, but they're not saying that they were better than anybody. They were just saying, you know, cooler than a polar bear snow toenails and stuff like that. Big Boy. He's one of my top 5 rappers, by the way. I guess he's number 5. Yeah, he's number 5 top 5 rappers in my estimation. So I think that, you know, Andre 3000 almost breaking down, you know, that it seemed like, oh, he's gonna be like he's crying over or something, but that was really, you know, what you guys say, heartfelt. I don't like to use the word heartfelt because heart is such a weird way of saying, like, love. Like the word love, nobody says, oh, don't say love, that's a strong word. Like it's, you can say, oh, hate. Oh, that's a strong word. Don't say it's a strong word. Hate is such a strong word. Yeah, love used to be a strong word until it was bastardized and misused and abused so much that it doesn't mean anything, hardly anything anymore. You say it just to say it. So, Andre is retired. I think he may be retired for the moment. I don't know if he had voiced that, but he's not, you know, looking into hip hop so much. But look how many people that are. You know, Snoop Dogg is still going strong in his late 40s or early 50s. I think he's in his early 50s. Excuse me. The Clips or Clips. I always say the Clips. Oh, it's weird to say Clips. You know, Clips. Malice is 52, and he's nominated for Grammys this year. Ghostface, he's in his 50s, I think, and he's got an album out. So it's not unlikely to have a hip hop star to have a project out right now. And Outkast, everybody's looking for a reunion, something, a tour, a reunion album, some project, something. And like I said, it's just amazing to see them together in the same room. That's always strong. That's always a good indication of their dynamic. Oh my God. Dynamic. Dynamism. God, that's a tricky word to say. Dynamism. Snoop Dogg did an amazing job at the Olympics. Yeah, I thought he kept it very well together. You know, he's an ambassador. He's an icon. He's a legend. He's known mostly for smoking weed. That's the extraordinary thing about personalities and individuals. The first thing that comes to mind is like, what comes to mind when you think about Snoop smoking weed? What's the first thing that comes to mind about Jay-Z? Beyonce. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about Pusha T, cocaine? Like it's a weird thing. He was funny. Yeah, he was funny. He was pretty good. But Andre 3000, you know, thanking Jack White. Jack White, one of my favorite artists of all time. The White Stripes, they got their just due and being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's one of the greatest guitarists of all time. He definitely inspired many people. The Olympic torch was a blunt. I'm sure it was. He wished it was. But he saluted Jack White because he just has that ability, that greatness, and overall understanding of what he wants to do and what he wants to be. And he like he said, he started in a small room, a little room too. Like that's the thing we forget. We forget all these giants. They sold tens of millions of albums and Oh my God, they're so great. They're, oh my gosh, there's so many accolades and Grammys and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you kind of forget for a second. You're like, wait a minute, where did they start? Did they start off as that? And that's the thing too, because that's the power of capitalism. That is the wonders of some remnants of capitalism, some pieces of it. It's not full capitalism. We don't have that. We've never had full capitalism. But it's very vibrant to have somebody that can start from virtually nothing. Two kids, going from Decatur and Atlanta and places around the place in their neighborhoods, and really show how people can be, can excel, can do well, and create wealth and do wonderful things within the context of creativity. Rick James finally comes in. Here he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, get your packs up for the late great career of Andre 3 Stacks as he continues to piss all over his rap career. He was the best to ever do it, but now these days, flute man. I was wondering where you were going with the packs, because I was like, they're not dead yet. So, but his career, okay, his career. The late great career. No, he still has a career. I'm sure if he could wrap circles around anybody today, anybody, I'm pretty sure he can still rap about anybody. He was freestyling his things. He kept on saying, he was like, because Big Boy, Antoine Patton, he had a whole list of people that he wanted to thank. It reminded me of the Source Awards. It was like everybody remembers what Dre said, but Big Boy had his own, people he wanted to thank and everything like that. He was saying it. But when Dre said the South got something to say, that was monumental. That was a monumental moment. That was humongous. He should have respect for Big Boy and got on stage with him. I don't know what that was about. I didn't really understand it. I understand the other musicians who graced the stage, but I don't understand why Andre 3000 didn't grace the stage. Maybe he's really resigned to not ever picking up a mic and rapping into it, even if it's not anything new. I don't know. I still, this is weird. No one wanted to see Doja Cat. I wanted to see Doja Cat. I didn't really want to listen to her though, and she was horrible. I thought she was not that great. And the lesbian herself, Janelle Monáe. Yeah, Monáe. Yeah, exactly. But Janelle Monáe brought down the house. She was a beast. She killed it. Tyler did well too. Tyler brought the energy. He brought a lot of power to a song that is about 180 beats per minute or something like that. Maybe more, 200 beats per minute. It's a very fast song. So. Yeah, he did bring the energy of a young Andre. I remember when Andre 3000 was not really considered to be a real artist or like a real rapper or like a strong rapper, because he had the outfits, he had the weird wigs, he had the turbans, he had the long colored pants, he had the fur and the shirt off, and he was just really eccentric. And you weren't really sure what he was. Is he gay? Is he what is this guy? We figure him out. And then you find out he's not, and you just have to go with it. Janelle Monáe could not sing a lick. Okay, you're lying now, sir. Janelle Monáe was the only one singing. Doja Cat kept on putting the microphone out in front of her to the crowd, like, you come on, y'all, you sing. And she was going in and out of the words, is going, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. And then, woo, I am forward. And then she was like, hand the mic off to the crowd. And she was just walking by. I mean, it was just, she wasn't that great. But Janelle Monáe was true. Janelle was in tune, sir. I disagree with you. She wasn't very much in tune. She was trying to do a male voice for some reason. I didn't know what she was. It sounded, she was in tune. But she sounded like she was trying to do Andre 3000's voice. She didn't have a lighter inflection. I was trying to understand that. Killer Mike keeps getting fatter. That's the idea that went through my mind at the same time. That's weird that you said that. It's been 20 years and he hasn't dropped 1 pound. He has stayed the same size for over 20 years. That's pretty, that shows you, how difficult it is for him to be able to do that. It's a known fact Andre is on the spectrum. Well, is it a known fact? Give me stats and figures and ideas that would back up that that claim. That's why he no perform and why he dressed like that. Maybe I need facts and figures. I need to know the truth. I need to know the truth about that. But it was overall, even earlier in the night, Salt and Pepper was, Salt and Pepper, they're fighting for their masters. They look, most of Salt looks swollen, Pepper looks fine, Spinderella looks sexy as hell. But it was a good night for hip hop, I think, especially from my favorite rap duo, Outkast. They are the greatest. They are the greatest. But Andre 3000 was very, very emotionally, driven. He was in a good way. Usually emotionally driven is not a good sign. But he was just using his platform to get on stage and say all the people that he rocked with over the decades, the people that supported him. Rick James says, Outkast are the best of all time. Fact, but sir, this is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Make it make sense. I know. That's what I always understood. It's so weird. The Rolling Stone and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are the only ones that really, show every aspect of black music. Because it's all black music. It should just be the Blues Hall of Fame, but they had the House of Blues, so I guess they couldn't really do anything. I think maybe one came after the other, but Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is all black popular music. And that goes from country to rock and roll to disco to soul to gospel to hip hop and rap to R&B, all of that. Everything is encompassed in that sense. So that's what I think it makes sense to me. Andre 3K and Big Boy spelled it wrong, but that's all right. Should give us one more album. They should give us 12 more albums. I'm greedy. Gigi Allen is getting inducted. No room for you. No room for you. There's no room for Gigi Allen to be on the inductee stage. If he was alive, there's no room for him to be his name to be included in the inductee for the Hall of Fame. God, when did he die? He died sometime. Hold on. $1993. Jesus. He was born Jesus Christ Allen. No room for you. No room for you. Yeah, 90s, 93. Yeah. Damn shame. Oh well. I like the performances. The performances were like Doja Cat was like a C minus. Tyler the Creator was like a B plus, and Janelle Monáe was like an A. She brought it. She had the guitar, the acoustic guitar. She flung that thing out of the way. She kept going. Gigi Allen tribute performance at Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will consist of pooping being thrown into audience fat. That's what I just noticed. He defecated on stage and threw it into the crowd. That's crazy. That's insanity. No room for Gigi Allen. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but There's no room for Gigi Allen on the inductee level. But this is what I want to continue the notion of. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think about the idea of inspiration and competition and especially in hip hop, but also just around other things? I just want to explore that a little bit more. Okay, so I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, so this was huge. This is huge news. I mean, it was news months ago because they announced them. You know, the people that they first announced the inductee, the potential people that could be in it. Then they say who are the actual inductees, and then they had the performance. And I just caught it. They were performing. It was what's her name? Jennifer Hudson and Stevie Wonder performing one of Sly Stone's hits, and then it's just started. I was like, wow, I was right on time. Wizard said, what popular band got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I didn't get a chance to watch it. Goddamn. Cyndi Lauper, she was one. Let me see who else. I'm gonna see who else. You can look it up on your own time, by the way, sir. I need you to answer my question. Is competition more powerful than inspiration? Rock and roll was built by black Americans. Exactly. So is blues. I said all this music is black music. It just has white voices over it. And white Americans were stupid. They didn't think. The white British people were like, oh, we like this blues music. Bloke, could you turn it up, please? Like, they liked Ma Rainey and the Smith sisters and Robert Johnson, and that's what really inspired them. That's why you have the Beatles being the greatest artist or greatest band of all time. Not my favorite band, but I'm just saying you have to give respect that they were the greatest band of all time. You can't knock that. And the second would be Rolling Stones, and third or fourth probably the Who, and Elton John, and just a whole list of British invasion. There's two British invasions came in the 60s and the late 70s, mid 70s to the early 80s. Because white Americans weren't smart enough. They didn't figure it out. Oh, our own black niggers, they're making music. Oh, okay, we can be like them, I guess. Yeah. Why don't we just take their whole style, take all their lyrics and everything like that? Same thing with British bands. They stole lyrics too. If you take Led Zeppelin had a song called the Lemon Song. That was from a blues singer. So it is what it is. It's partially black people's fault. Maybe they weren't smart enough either to retain their money, their music, and say, no, we're not doing it. Just like the Negro leagues in baseball and athletes. They could have said, no, we're going to continue the Negro League. We're not going to integrate. We're going to keep it up in the Negro League. Wizard says, I discovered the cure by watching the awards. Wow, that's pretty cool. Inspiration equals motivation, which give you timeless art. Okay, that's a fair point. I saw Sir Paul a few days ago in concert. Sir Fact. Okay, the Beatles are not better than the Stones, just more popular. I always had this contention with, like, in hip hop, who's better, Run DMC or MWA? Because they kind of have that same kind of flavor. Like the Beatles and the Run DMC have that kind of like mass appeal, but if you look at the Rolling Stones and NWA, they have a harder sound, but it's still consistent with being very successful and very wide ranging. But I think the Beatles are still the best. I think the Beatles are better than the Rolling Stones. I just, in my bones, that's what I can say. Beatles have more bangers than Stones. True, facts. Stones have a lot of fat. Yeah, maybe that's true. I can't speak intelligently on like rock and roll and everything like that. I'm a poser when it comes to rock and roll. I only know certain specific details in some songs. I listen to classic rock with my dad on trips, going on errands and stuff like that. Hip hop is sad. We don't appreciate our legends and pioneers of hip hop. Facts. To the extent of major awards and induction ceremonies and stuff like that, there isn't really one that was there. I mean, the Source Awards tried to, the Vibe Awards tried to, I think the Soul Train Awards tried to, BT Hip Hop Awards tried to, just couldn't keep it going, couldn't keep it running. So did you get your Rush tickets yet? I'm not going to the Rush concert. I saw tickets going for $14,000. I was like, you know what? This is too rich for my blood. I'm okay. I may never see them ever again, or ever to start with. I may never see them perform live, and I'm okay with that. That's all right. I mean, I'm gonna fight and see if in 10 years they might say 60 something or something like that. But I'm not really looking forward to that. It's always cut that old-ish off. Why is it no hip hop? What Wizards asking? Why is it no hip hop Hall of Fame? It's always cut that old-ish off. That's sad because what is old now? I mean, there's like J. Cole has been in the game for 15 years, and it seems like he had same thing with Kendrick Lamar. They've been in the game for 15, 16 years. Drake, almost 20 years. They're hip hop old heads. They're old school. If you look at it, look at the facts. That's the rotation rate. That's how fast the overhaul rate is. Rush doing people dirty with them ticket price. Well, it's not Rush. It's not, to be honest, I'm not trying to cape for a white man or anything like that. But it's not Rush. It's their promoters. It's the venues. It's all that factor into it. And plus, you have ticket prices that have to match airplane prices and stuff like that, and tariffs and inflation and stuff like that. That's the reason why they cost so much money. Good music is timeless. That's true. I'm so glad Mr. Troy Star Terrain put me on the Rush. I never heard of Rush before. I heard it on his radio show in 2005 when I was first listening to it. It said Rush came on and begin the day with a friendly voice, a companion unobtrusive. I was like, what the hell is this? So I got on the internet, typed in those lyrics, and I was like, whoa, what is this? Rush? What is, and there's more, and it would cut off at, it's just a question of your honesty, and it was like no more after that. That's when it cut off. And then I picked up, your honesty. One likes to believe in the freedom of music, but endless prizes, but glittering prizes and endless compromises shatter the illusion of integrity. Wizard says the only thing that might get outdated is the production on hip hop songs. Even then, I still think hip hop production is awesome. You look at Public Enemy, their song "Fight the Power." That production is just, you can't beat that with it's awesome. It is awesome production. Live Nation might be behind that Rush tour. Might be. I didn't check into it. I only checked into how much the prices were for the tickets. It could be Live Nation. I didn't look into it that far. But this could be their final tour, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm at a different place in my life. I could afford it, but it would hurt. It would really hurt. I would hurt my credit. Like seriously, I'd have to pay like $3,000 a month just to get my what is it called interest rate down. Yes, Wizard. It is true. Fight the Powers A1 production. There's so many elements in it. There's the bass line. There's the horns. There's the the scratching. There's so much going on in that, and that came out in like 1989 or earlier. It probably came out in like 88, but didn't come popular till Do the Right Thing in 1989. That's why he says it. Would you go see Curtis Blow? Yeah, I would see Curtis Blow. I would love to see, just to understand what it was that he captured during the time. He had a song called Basketball, right? We're playing basketball, and that's the thing with songs and names and lyrics. His name, Curtis Blow, comes from cocaine. There's a lot of French skis. What is skiing? Skiing down snow. Snow is what? Snow is coke. That was a different era. That was when cocaine was cocaine. And it's starting to become cocaine again. Cocaine is like super potent right now. If you haven't noticed about the streets. Cocaine is cocaine again. And it's a bigger audience, it's a bigger, pool of people that want it. It's a higher rate of people that wish to use it. So just to give you that example, higher demand. That's the guy. My brain is just pancake batter. It's a higher demand for cocaine right now. Music is too lazy now when it comes to production. Yes, Pro Tools, Fruity Loops. Does anybody still use Fruity Loops? Pro Tools and stuff like that. But like I said, the best production comes from the ideas and the selection of Rick Ross. Rick Ross, I think, is the best beat selector of all time. Greatest of all time. No question. You can fight me. I don't care. You say, oh, well, he's the greatest selector of not. I don't think he produces. So I would say the best producer in hip hop is Dr. Dre. I would say that, and without any hesitation, any questioning, it's all Dr. Dre. Dre is the greatest hip hop producer of all time. There's no question about that. You can fight me right now. Fight me digitally. Say, no, Sky, you don't know what you're talking about. Just Blaze is the best hip hop producer. No, Ye is the best hip hop producer. No, Eminem, no, Havoc, no. The Beat Squad, the Bomb Squad is the best. Nope, Dre's got all of them. He steamrolls over all of them. He can do real poppy stuff. I mean, that's a sad thing too, because he and Scott Storch had a falling out, and he didn't really like him like that. Scott Storch got, he was playing with his nose heavy. That's no allegedly. He literally was. He admitted to it. He was playing with his nose, and Dre was like, I can't. I don't know if this is all part of the same thing, but he was just like, I can't deal with this guy anymore. I think allegedly, I don't know. But it's got, and Timbaland's another one. Swiss Beats. Timbaland reminds me of he reminds me of like the early 2000s. There was like like an Asian influence on songs. Big Pimpin', or like Indian to East Asian, Uchi Wally, Hey Poppy. They had like that Asian kind of influence. Dre took credit for other people production like Daz Dillinger and Scott Storch and Hubbles. Yeah. Same thing with Timbaland. Timbaland had a beef, an issue with DJ what's his Hands? DJ, something like that. I think it's DJ Hands, something like that. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember his name. But yeah. So Dre is still my number one producer of all time in hip hop. My number one producer of all time is really, across all genres, I say Clive Davis. Clive Davis is probably the best producer. And a close second would be Quincy Jones. Rockin' power to him. Well, yeah, so is it competition or is it inspiration? Because Outkast, they didn't really beef. To my knowledge, they didn't get into any beefs, Big Boy or Andre 3000. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Big Boy or Andre 3000 never beefed with anybody on any level. They just did their own damn thing. Jimmy Jam and Teddy Rock, yes, they're in the top 5. Top 10, definitely. Quincy's not the best. He's not the best. He's close, but he's not the best. Inspiration, exactly. Wizard saying inspiration. I'd have to say inspiration too, because just look at Outkast. Look at them. Look at them. They didn't beef with one person. They didn't have a issue with any other groups that came out. They didn't beef with anybody. I shouldn't say beef. I should say feud. They didn't feud with anybody. They might have feuded with themselves. That's right, Wizard. The South got something to say. He was like choking up at that point. Andre 3000 is a very, sentimental kind of guy. Nothing wrong with that. He takes that stuff seriously. That's what you have to respect him. I just said who better than Quincy? Clive Davis. You get Clive Davis and Whitney Houston when she was alive, you get them into a room, they're going to come out with like a whole 10 million sold album based off of quality. Rockin' power to Whitney Houston. Clive Davis is better than Quincy. It's a fact. Well, it's not a fact. It's opinion, but go watch Quincy Netflix doc. He can work in any genre of music. No, watch the Marines doc. It just came on this week. Make sure you get that up to the top 10. Watch the Marines doc. I never knew Clive. Yes, he's a producer. Yeah, he produced for Whitney Houston. And he produced for, let me see. I'm looking for all his production credits. Just look at Whitney. Just look at how many of her songs he produced. Yeah, Clive Davis is the one. Clive may make the biggest superstar of all time. You can argue that. But I think Mike made himself bigger than, he was because of his own talent. I can see that Quincy guided Mike. He guided Mike in a position of greatness, but Mike had to have it to begin with himself. That's a fact. And speaking of Mike Jackson, that biopic, I hope it's strong. It's by Antoine Fuqua. He directed Training Day, among other movies. But I hope it's strong. It looks good. It looks like it's going to be something that could be of value. But I'm not sure if it's going to be strong or not. I hope it's strong. I hope it, does numbers that, people aren't expecting. And I hope that Catherine gets a good chunk of change from it too. Michael Jackson has earned $3.5 billion since his death in 2009. That's more than any other artist in living or dead. Clive acted like he had Alzheimer's when he asked about Diddy. Oh man, he's forgetting stuff. Well, my private bungalow. I just remember him saying that a lot when Houston died. In my private bungalow. But yeah, I just want to explore that. Inspiration and competition. What is it about inspiration and competition that drives us? What is it about competing with people that drives us? You see Kendrick Lamar and Drake. That was huge. That was a great look for hip-hop, I think. But would have been better if they had been able to lock down their positions. Wizard says Mike would have fell flat without Quincy unlocking the superstar side of him. I disagree, sir. Hold on 1 second.
Don't miss true crime anytime you want, anywhere you go with the 48 Hours podcast. Real crimes, real lives.
Like a John Grisham novel come to life.
Real justice.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Listen to 48 Hours on Apple Podcasts.
The all-new CBS Evening News.
Lay is facing up to $1 million in tariff payments this year alone.
Zhou-Ling, is Lay going to be able to keep her workers under these conditions?
We don't have the same options as large businesses.
Can your business survive this?
If this is the end of my American dream, I'm going to go down swinging.
I'm Major Garrett in Washington, inviting you to the Takeout. Politics, policy, people, and pop culture served up weeknights. What's on the menu? Plenty. The day's happenings with curiosity and formality and humor. It's serious discussion, but we do not take ourselves too seriously. Who is a better speaker, Mike Johnson or you? Oh, come on. Join me on the Takeout. Streaming right here on CBS News 24/7.
Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. Well, after cheering on Texas lawmakers to redraw congressional maps in that state to get more Republicans elected to Congress, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he will run for re-election. Abbott unveiled a property tax plan aimed at giving homeowners some more control over their properties. Another win could make Abbott the longest-serving governor in Texas history. News from the British Broadcasting Company, or BBC, the Director General and the CEO resigning after criticism of the way the organization edited a speech by President Donald Trump. That speech made on the day of the Capitol insurrection. The British newspaper, the Daily Telegraph, published a leaked internal BBC memo suggesting the broadcaster edited Trump's speech, making it look like Mr. Trump explicitly encouraged the Capitol riots. The edit aired in a documentary last year, a week before the U.S. presidential election. The chair of the BBC apologized for what they call an error in judgment. CBS News 24/7 Eye on Us is really our delivery on a promise to you, your stories from your communities. Always so important. Well, think your morning workout was difficult? How's this for some motivation? As CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano is about to show you, a woman swam nearly 2.5 miles in the ocean, biked more than 100 miles through lava fields, and then ran more than 26 miles on solid earth. But not before she made 80 trips around the sun.
At 80 years old, Natalie Graybo is all about defying the odds, setting a record and an example as the oldest woman to ever complete the Ironman World Championship in Hawaii.
Oldest woman to complete Ironman. How does that sit with you? The oldest woman part.
All right, I'm back. Back in the building. My solo album that didn't release was boring. Quincy gave us Off the Wall. I agree with you on that. I agree. Off the Wall is Mike Jack's greatest effort ever. It's his best album that he's ever, conceived. So Off the Wall is one of the best albums ever. Excellent production, excellent execution. The videos, I mean, he had video, early days of what Mike Jack called short films. So I think, and even then, look at the inspiration and competition. There was competition with Mike Jack and Prince. They're like, oh, who's better than Mike Jack or Prince? Who's better, Mike Jack or Prince? And it was difficult to even say which one was better. It was a different kind of connotation because Prince was on another level than Mike. Mike didn't have instruments. Mike wasn't producing every track. He wasn't playing every instrument. He wasn't playing the drums. He wasn't playing the guitar. Prince was. He wasn't playing the piano. Prince was. And so it was an ongoing feud between the two of them. It was always an ongoing feud. So I still think that inspiration is. Just to look at a few acts, technically, Ye never had a feud. He didn't have a battle with anybody. He didn't have a falling out. He had different tiffs and weird little, little feuds. I wouldn't say they're huge feuds. They're that little, just a tiff, just a little disagreement or whatever. He had with people that weren't even rappers, like Pete Davidson. He's not even a rapper, but he had issues with him. He didn't have any issues really with a lot of rappers. The Game had some words for him. He had issues with that. But he never really engaged in a battle. He produced for a battle. He produced Takeover for Jay-Z with the Doors, is it Doors or the Doors? With the Doors sample 521. That's where you have to really get a better understanding and better grasp of whether creativity really relies on competition or inspiration. I still say what Wizard said, inspiration. I think it's still inspiration. It's good to battle, to be in a feud and challenge each other, steel sharpens steel. And then when you're in your 70s and 80s, you can see like Drake and Kendrick Lamar looking back. We took millions out of this game. We led people to think that we didn't like each other. Ain't that funny? Like, I can just see that happening. Like they'll be in their 70s and 80s, 90s, talking about, oh yeah, we had them really going. We really had them going. That's what I see for the future. Hey, I'd like to thank people that came in here. Sir Rick James, Brooklyn, Bumba, and of course, my main man, Wizard. Thank you very much for coming in. Check out my story, Outkast. First, Andre 3000 and Big Boy get emotional at Outkast Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. So I appreciate you, and I was continuing to. I have to get back to celebrating my birthday, and you guys take care.